All right, tonight's true story comes from Sad 330, and it was titled Ghost Child, Perhaps. So I got home a little late last night, around 10 p.m., and decided to take out the new puppy. I have about 2 acres with some woods at the very back abutting against my property, but a typical country setting. On our way out, my new puppy alerted or hit on something and stopped in her tracks and stared at the back corner of our property. Thinking nothing of it, I redirected her towards me and we continued on our usual route of my land for our walk. We do a few laps around the perimeter until she goes potty. Anyways, on our second lap, she was gearing up to do her business and standing next to me when, clear as day, I hear a child's voice say, "Mommy? Mommy?" I mean, unmistakably crystal clear. My pup stopped dead in her tracks, stopped mid-potty, spins around, and looks at the exact same place as the first time of our property. I don't have kids, but always wanted some, and there was no wind blowing and no nearby neighbors. This was no animal noise either. Clearly, a young male's voice had just been calling for his mommy. Pup and I halted inside as soon as my hair stood up. The walk was over. I ran in and fetched my husband, who came out with all the appropriate tools, if you catch my drift. My buddy at the Northwest Wind would say accoutrements. Anyway, we couldn't find a single soul. Searched high and low, because naturally I was concerned it was a runaway child or something, and there was nothing. Just me now looking like a fool in front of my husband. Anyway, I've tried looking this up online, what it might mean, and I am so stumped. It just keeps pointing me back to real child situations. I've been skeptical of ghosts my entire life, but has anyone else had this happen to them? Is it possible maybe my pup was something a child who hadn't crossed over yet was interested in? Do I maybe look like his mom? I don't want to be creeped out by this because it wasn't a harmful or malicious type mommy. But sheesh, I just can't get it off of my mind. Any helpful tips or words of wisdom, please, so I don't feel like a crazy lady? Wow, Sad, that's a pretty fascinating story. And yeah, I'm kind of inclined to agree that maybe you did hear actually a child who hadn't crossed over yet, or at least something that was trying to present itself as a child. That's always a factor too. But anyway, that's been Jay's Haunted Appalachia for tonight. Hope you guys enjoyed the story. Thank you, Sad 330, for sending it in. Y'all keep sending me those stories and suggestions, and keep Appalachia haunted.